Unsighted is like a combination of Mega Man X and The Legend of Zelda. The story follows Alma, a robot who wakes up from amnesia. Eventually, she discovers her city is in ruins after humans have invaded it. She has missing friends to save, on top of finding 5 crystals to stop the humans from messing things up even further. It's not the most in-depth story, but the context adds a nice flavor to the chaos. Unsighted is a top-down action-adventure game. Players can equip 2 weapons at a time, from melee weapons like swords and axes, to projectile weapons like pistols or giant shurikens. Melee weapons use stamina, and guns use ammo, both of which work on recharges. There is a bit of a rub to the system because stamina also depletes when dodging. This forces players to strategically think about when to go full force or when to hold back so they have enough stamina to dodge. Personally, I don't like when games do this, but it's only a small complaint because combat is otherwise really fun. It's fast and fluid, especially when mixing pairing into the rotation. The perfect counter always left me feeling satisfied. Other than combat purposes, some abilities and weapons can be used for exploration. The aforementioned giant shuriken, for example, can be controlled to open switches. A double jump can reach new heights, literally, and the list goes on. Another gameplay aspect I enjoyed was co-op. You can add in a friend locally with drop-in or drop-out connections. It makes a lot of the puzzles easier, but is not necessary for completing the game. The puzzles are never that tricky to solve, although the environments don't always do a good job of signaling players on where to go next. Some of the geometry, in other words, tends to blend together. It's understandably hard to pull off perspectives in a top-down 2D environment, and some areas were worse than others. The aesthetic otherwise is very nice for a pixel art game. The soundtrack to accompany the art was fine like the story, but nothing outstanding. Unsighted is an excellent debut for Studio Pixel Punk. Humble Games usually does a good job on finding new developers to help blossom, and this is thankfully another rose in their bouquet. The point is, the combat is awesome, it looks great, the upgrade equipment loop was also satisfying. On the downside, the music and story could have been better, and understanding what to do next was sometimes confusing. There's nothing in here you probably haven't seen before, but that said, overall, it is still a great indie action game, and I thoroughly recommend it, especially for people looking for a new co-op game to test out.
Did you like that video? If you did, please like, subscribe, and spread the good word of ReActionExaminer. If you want to read more of my stuff, you can find a plethora of my articles over at TheGamer and Game Rant. All of those links and more are in the show notes below. Thanks for watching!